Welcome back to Uncage Chaos. I'm Andi, life coach, truth teller, and someone who deeply believes that becoming yourself will cost you your comfort, but it will give you your life back. This podcast is about uncaging parts of you that learned how to survive by shrinking, numbing, performing, or people-pleasing. And today, we're talking about a cage that took me a very long time to recognize: addiction. And more broadly, my vices. If you've ever been curious about sobriety, if you've ever wondered what it would feel like to stop numbing, if you've ever quietly asked yourself, is this actually serving me? And then continued on anyway, this episode is for you. Now, I'm not here to tell you to quit or to judge you, because I know what it feels like to question something that everyone else insists is normal. My story is about my relationship with alcohol. However, I've come to find that the lesson applies to all of my vices. I grew up around alcohol. It was woven into gatherings, celebrations, and just everyday life. I had my first sip of wine at Thanksgiving when I was 8. And in high school and college, I was always the responsible one. I made sure my friends got home safe. I kept an eye on everyone. I was never the disaster, so I genuinely didn't think I had a problem. Drinking was just how I let loose, how I relaxed, how I navigated social situations without overanalyzing every word I said. Did I go past the point of no return? Sometimes, of course. Who didn't? But I was the fun drunk, affectionate, loving, the life of the party. And if you're the fun one, if people laugh more when you drink, if they encourage another round, why would your drinking be an issue? That was the story I was telling myself. I was never someone who could just have one. Yet, why would I need to limit myself if I still felt in control? One became two became, should we just grab another bottle on our way home? Which then became continuing to drink once we got home. It wasn't about the first glass. It was about the switch that happened after it. Something in me just didn't want to stop. And that's where my cage lied. Not in the party, not in the affection, not in being the fun one. The cage was in the lack of choice. I told myself I was free because I could drink whenever I wanted. But once I started, that freedom kind of slipped away. And that just felt like compulsion dressed up as celebration. Then COVID hit. Boxed wine, Trulies, drinks with dinner, drinks because the days blurred together, drinks because, well, the hell not. It became automatic. Still, I didn't think I had a problem because everybody else was doing it. My wake-up call happened a couple of years after COVID. It was Christmas, and I accidentally got way too drunk and very sloppy. But the moment that broke something open wasn't just the embarrassment. It was that I don't remember half of the holiday I'd been looking forward to for months. Conversations gone. Memories not even there. Moments just passed by. And then that's when I was thinking, what am I doing? So I gave myself 2 months off after New Year's, quietly. I didn't tell anybody, and I just wanted to see how I felt. And what surfaced was so uncomfortable. Without alcohol, shadows got louder. Emotions I had been muting, anxieties I had been softening. Parts of me craved the attention. So I went back to drinking, but this time I knew. Every glass felt less innocent because I understood I wasn't relaxing, I was numbing. Have you ever had those moments where you knew you needed to do something, but somehow just couldn't bring yourself to do it? That's where I was. So I started talking to some friends who had stopped drinking. Honest, real, raw conversations. And I realized my relationship with alcohol wasn't as neutral as I had thought. It was my coping mechanism. So on January 1st, 2024, I completely stopped. No cutting back. Stopped cold turkey. So many vices have become so socially acceptable. Alcohol seems to kind of be the heartbeat of it. It's bonding, it's networking, it's celebration, it's, come on, just one more. And when I drank, People liked me drinking. They encouraged it, ordered another round, kept the energy going. Not because they were bad people, but because I was easier when I drank. I was looser, more agreeable, more fun. When I stopped, things shifted. Sobriety gave me clarity, but it also came with a very high cost. Friendships I thought were deeper than they were. When I removed alcohol, I realized the only thing we consistently shared was drinking. Social events. Before, I could go anywhere, a party, a bar, a random event. Now I stop and ask myself, why am I going? What do I actually want from this? If I need a form of social lubricant to enjoy myself, what's the point? Those questions changed everything. Because if alcohol was the only reason I came to certain events, why would I choose to put myself in that again? Sobriety narrowed my world at first, even isolated it, but it also refined it and filtered it. It stripped away the noise. What was left was more intentional, more aligned, more me. After I hit 1 year sober, I went out to dinner and ordered a non-alcoholic rosé to celebrate. The waiter asked for my ID and I paused. Reminded him there was no alcohol in this. And he checked the tablet and admitted he had selected the wrong one. A different server brought over the drink, and I took a sip. Immediate panic came over my body. I swore I tasted alcohol. Chest tightened, heat flooded my face. My mind started spiraling, not because I wanted it, but because I didn't. In a split second, I thought, what if I had just broken my sobriety? So I asked them to pour it in front of me and that I needed to see the bottle or I wanted something else. They were very accommodating. They brought the bottle. It was non-alcoholic. Everything was fine. But in that moment, I realized something crystal clear. I didn't want to go back. The panic wasn't about breaking a rule. It was about losing alignment. That's how I knew the cage was real and that I had actually walked out of that. Sobriety didn't make me smaller or less fun or less life of the party. It actually made me stronger. It gave me the power to say no. It made me sovereign. It helped me see which parties I wanted to bring life into. And it forced me to feel everything, the pain, the loneliness, everything I had been avoiding. But it also let me experience joy, excitement, and connection in a stronger way that I had ever experienced. It gave me clarity about who I want to be, where I want to be, and who I want to be around. It removed that mental noise that just kept replaying. Did I drink too much? What did I just say? Should I even be driving? And that piece is powerful. If something in you feels activated right now, I'm not here to tell you to quit your vice, and I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to ask you to look at your relationship with the thing you reach for when you don't want to feel. What would happen if you took 15 days off, 30 days off? Not forever, just as a test. How dependent are you really on it? You don't have to hit rock bottom to choose differently. You are allowed to outgrow coping mechanisms that once protected you. And if there's anything in your life you can't just have one of without taking it more than you planned, that's not freedom, that's a leash. Now, I didn't choose to quit because I hit rock bottom. I quit because I was tired of lying to myself about the real reason I didn't want to stop. Just one wasn't freedom. Just one was the hook. I used to think I was the life of the party, but if I couldn't stop at one, who was actually in charge? Sobriety didn't make me smaller, it made me stronger, and it gave me the power to say no. And I refuse to build a beautiful life while something else quietly is pulling the strings. If your vice has more to say than your values, that's not harmless, that's a cage. I have no problem with anyone else drinking around me because I know everyone is on their own journey and has their own relationship with their own vices. It was just my time to take the keys and uncage myself. This is Uncaged Chaos, and becoming fully available to your own life and living unmuted is the whole fucking point.